Hi everyone, I'm Stephanie from the Insight Studio and you're watching HubSpot, our YouTube channel to help you get the most out of your HubSpot account so that you can grow your company. Today I'm going to show you the email drag and drop feature so that you can easily create your own marketing emails and not spend as much time coding them or having to ask developers to code them. Let's dive in. So here I am in a HubSpot portal on the main page that pops up when you first log in. And to get to the email marketing tool, we're going to first click marketing, click email, and wait for it to load. These are just some ones I was messing around with. If you have sent ones, you'll see them. Draft ones, you'll see them. But we are going to create a new email. So we're going to click create email. The difference is here, I'm going to focus on these two because I don't see this as much anymore. A regular is a one-time email you're sending out, like a newsletter. Whereas automated means that it's going to be in one of your workflows and triggered in a different way. So today we're going to stick with regular, although there's no difference. And if you make a regular one and it should have been automated, all you have to do is clone it instead of start over. We get some basic templates here. HubSpot has populated into here. For the sake of this lesson, I am going to start from the welcome one. It's usually the one I start with. I like the basic framework because it reminds me to do some things. The thing I like to start with is naming the email up here, new email. And I just want to say having a naming system is so important in HubSpot because when you first start using HubSpot, you want to think about it as if you're going to use it for 10 years and it's going to have thousands of emails. So be really clear, maybe put the date like 2/20, that's not actually the date, 20, Valentine's email to subscribers, something like that. Okay. So now we have the basic template. You can build your own. So we're going to pretend like I'm building this and I'm going to use it to clone down the road or whatever. Start by clicking the company logo. So you can see just by clicking on things, it's pretty intuitive what to do next. So click the company logo and I'm going to click replace. I have some Insight Studio logos in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick one. This isn't usually the one I would use, but it works. So I have that and click insert. So now you can see it, it's like huge and it's like, oh my gosh, all we have to do is come over here and make it a lot smaller. So let's try 300, see how it looks. Ooh, still too big, 200. And maybe I'm okay with that. This is a great opportunity to use your alt text. So the Insight Studio right there. If you want it to link to your web page, you can put your web page in right here. Maybe you want it to the left, however you want. So you can play around with this. It's pretty straightforward and easy. So there we just updated the logo. But let's talk about the overall design first before we start breaking this up and making different sections. So instead of content, we're going to click on design. And then we can see what the basics are. So I can tell this gray is this background gray. But maybe my company doesn't ever use that and we always use blue. We don't, but let's just pretend for the sake of this demo. And then we like our body to be white. Sure, looks good. Maybe you have a pattern, that's sometimes fun. You can also upload patterns that you have, so feel free to do that too. Looks good. So we can go back. So this is our basic template background. Textile, you know, this matters when you're trying to match your company's vibe. So you can see our preloaded ones. I like this right here. And then I like to change this to black. So it's like easier to do this on the front end than trying to do it individually. We make our hyperlinks purple. You can see it kind of happening over here as I do it. So we've played around with the text style. Maybe we like to italicize so you can see it over here or not, or maybe you don't underline it. So you can control all that for your whole template here. Buttons, what color do you want those to be? We're gonna go with blue. Oops, open that back up. Also, you can pick these same things, right? So however you want, make that a little bit bigger. And let me find a button. Oh, we don't have one yet. And dividers. So same thing, like putting in your company colors is a really good idea. I have a different video that shows you how to set these favorites to your company colors. So if you're wondering why these aren't showing up in yours, go find that video and you'll learn how to add it. So there we go. I feel pretty good about my just basics of the template design. So now I'm going to go back to content. The first thing you might notice is like, oh, this is still the gray background where this isn't. That's because this is like a whole line. And so it's not taking it into account as a background there. But if I click on it, see, you can see if I go full width, it's going to stretch it out across versus right there. And then you can also, you can make it just for sake of showing you. Right there, which you probably don't want. I'm just showing you to kind of be extreme so you can see the difference. But if it is, you want it to match, you maybe will go pattern. And I'm guessing it won't match perfectly. Oh, it's okay. I don't think I would keep that, but for now we can just run with it. Okay. So scrolling down, we now have, this footer down here, which is really important. You want to make sure your location is entered in or else you won't be able to send it. So if your location is not in your settings, like this is going to default, you can click manage to change that. And then your unsubscribe link is here. One thing I like to tell people at this point is go in an email and click on your manage subscriptions page. If you're still using the default one, there's a really good chance you are going to be really unhappy with what that page looks like. And you can find another one of our how-to videos on how to manage the design of that page. But check it out, make sure it looks how you want it to look. Don't just assume it will. In this case, we can't even see it. So let's change that to white, maybe a gray. And then you can also change the rest of that. Okay, so now we are into the email that is not very pretty, but we're going to go with it anyways. You can tell this is just like a text body email. And then here are all your options, right? And then these layouts is usually where I start. So say you want a really big image at the top. Maybe you will drag this up here. And this all looks good. We're going to go back and pull this image into there. And that's what's going to allow you to put a really big image right up top. So I don't have a good image. I could go great one though. I'm going to upload one. Put a really beautiful picture of where I live, Missoula, Montana. So this is our downtown. We're going to put that front and center for everyone to see. You could then see there's this like border, right? And it's like, oh, that doesn't match. So we're going to click in this side is how you adjust that. I always get people asking me that question is, I clicked on the border and it's not coming up to change. It's because you have to click on the whole section. And this is then where you would kind of fix that. So we have, it's the white border because that's what's programmed in here. But see how I can make it blue. I definitely don't like the white. So we also might want to put the same pattern back there, whatever you want. So just like play around with it. I kind of shot myself in the foot by picking a really heavy background so it doesn't flow very well, but you can play around with that, make it however you want. And then say after this picture, I want a line. All I have to do is drag it over. And then we can make it a solid line, a dashed line. We can center it. We could put it to the left. And then the height is what's going to make like kind of the boldness of it. So watch as I mess with the height is where you start seeing some differences. And this is the width, so how far across it's going. So if we did 100, it's gonna go all the way across. So there we go. Another extreme example. And then you can put the body of your email down here. If you want social icons, you can drag those in. They're gonna pop up, and I always like to edit the style because I don't like the colorful ones. So I usually switch to either gray or black. But again, you gotta be careful here and not just assume everything's working. So click in this edit button and make sure all your URLs are in here. And if you don't have Twitter, delete Twitter. Make this a true reflection of your company. And okay, I wanted to show you also adding a call to action button. So I'm gonna put it right there. These are great. I have one issue here. I hate using URLs because then when you go to use marketing later, like workflows based on behaviors, you can't say clicked on the URL in email. So a lot of times what I'll advise people instead is you want this to go to a call to action, because in your workflows, you can tell something, did they click this call to action? So when in doubt, use a CTA versus a button with a URL. In fact, challenge yourself to always use a CTA over a URL so that you can track it better, have better data, and all of that. So if I have a call to action already built, I could select it, or in this one case I don't. So I could go ahead and create and make it essentially look the same way. Say it was sign up now. There's my favorite colors. Hit next. I could put my address in there. I'll just campaign if you have it, open a new window usually, and hit insert. So see, it looks exactly the same except for I made it a CTA instead of a URL when I put it in. So now I'm gonna hit done. I wanna show you another example here. So let's do another button. So I could have rounded the edges a little bit better, or I could unround these ones. But all your options here, you got CTA, email address, subscription link, download file, meeting link to one of your web pages, and a URL. The URL one is the one I really want you to avoid using if possible. Try to default to any of the other ones, just again for data use. And then you have more, which is where you're gonna get your other options. There's not a lot here, but you can always click into those and see what else you want to do. And then one other thing I want to show you is, say you sign all your emails with your picture and then your company description. So you might drag this up here. And this is another question I get a lot is, oh, those are above here now. So we're going to want to move them. So I'm going to hit done. And I always use, say, my company logo or an image of myself here, which I might have handy or not. Or we'll pretend like that's me. There I am. And then I do, say, text on the other side. So I would drag text here. Maybe I would say, cheers, Stephanie sample. And then whatever my meeting signature is, I could type in there. You can change this text. So right up above here, change it however you want. And then we want to move these below. And then maybe we want to delete this because we now have a signature thing. Sometimes what you'll see though is this weird gap where you're like, oh, there's something wrong with this template. The gap's too big. That's a padding issue. So we're gonna click into this and see this bottom spacing. That's what's creating that. So if I go down to 0, it pulls it together more. So just be mindful of that when you get to that as an issue. I'm going to stop there. There's so much more we could cover. Feel free to comment on any questions you have, but that's really like the basic overview of using the email marketing tool in HubSpot. All right, there you have it, the email marketing tool in HubSpot drag and drop features. I hope you learned a few things to help you be more efficient when you go to build your next email or your first email. If you have any questions, reach out to us. We love helping people leverage HubSpot. And if you need HubSpot help or digital marketing help, we are here for that. The Insight Studio, we are HubSpot administrators and digital marketers. You can contact us at theinsightstudio.com. Thanks. Have a great day.